Guys, welcome back to another video. Sorry for a very, very, very long hiatus, but we are here to finally talk about Moon Knight. We know there's a lot of stuff we haven't covered so far. We know we missed a couple of movies. We know we missed Shang-Chi, Eternals, and Spider-Man, but do not worry. We are planning on getting videos on those movies soon. Yeah, we'll get there eventually, but for now, we wanted to talk about the latest Marvel upcoming show, which is Marvel Studios' Moon Knight, starring Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke. So before we start, I just wanted to say, what did you think of the first official trailer for Moon Knight, George?
I'm really liking it. I like how we get to see an aspect of the MCU that's not all crazy with multiverse stuff. Just nice to see. That's cool
True, yeah,
because this
exactly.
is the first show
Yeah.
where the main character has never been an MCU movie before, so we get to see like an origin story, which is really cool. We haven't seen it with a series before, so that's going to be fun.
True.
I really like the music. I thought that was excellent. I really enjoyed how that was played. I was really
Yeah, yeah,
edited
very.
really
It's kind
well,
of
and
fitting. It's
the
really on the
suit
nose
looks
and fitting.
amazing. And I will say one thing: Ethan Hawke looks like a homeless person. Honestly, God.
I don't know. Ethan Hawke just look. I don't know. The thing, you know what the thing is? I felt like I was like, yeah, I know Ethan Hawke, and then for some stupid reason, when I see his face here, I don't know why I assumed Ethan Hawke was Kevin Bacon for a minute because I don't know
Oh
why
my
those two
God,
had like
yeah.
very similar
No, they
face.
they have got similar
I don't
faces.
know because for some reason I'm like, yeah, I know Ethan Hawke. Like I know the way he looked as well, but I don't know why. When I think of Ethan Hawke, I think of Kevin Bacon because those
You're
two
right.
people look
You're right. They
exactly
do
the
look
same.
similar.
I don't know why. They just have that look. They both exactly have
I
that
know what you
look.
mean.
But yeah. Anything else? Like anything else you want to go off of?
Um,
Or
I just really enjoyed it. I thought the suit was awesome. I said that. It's really interesting to see how they'll do like the whole mythology thing, and with
oh, true,
the
true.
split personality. That'd be really cool to see. Yeah,
So
exciting.
for me, I this is the thing I'm really interested in. It's Moon Knight is very, very like D-list, C-list kind of a character, and he's not very well known. I will say there are more comics books runs now that are making him more popular, or at least there is a fan base for the character, whether it's in comics, but he hasn't really gone that on-screen debut.
Yeah,
So I'm kind of and so what I'm thinking, what I really like about this is that they're really, at least with these new MCU shows going forward, the past three MCU films, or not films, but the TV series, they're already they're shows about characters we know of,
yeah, exactly.
the
Yeah,
more side characters, but developing them further as to like why they're in the MCU. This new phase of the TV series, because they're doing more other shows like She-Hulk is next, Miss
yeah.
Marvel, all these
We're
other
gonna
shows
get to
like
see
Secret
more
Invasion and
not
whatnot.
obscure characters, but characters we haven't seen as much.
Yeah, true. So it's all like this. This is what I like about this new phase of Marvel television, at least the Disney Plus series. They're doing more characters that are not well known or really mainstream. Like they may have a comic book fan base, but they haven't gotten their due diligence on the big screen or the silver screen, right? So
Yeah,
here, I like that Moon Knight is that entry point, which I really dig,
yeah,
because to me, people always use the comparison, which I mean, it's kind of true, but I will say there is one differentiation. Moon Knight, people always compare him to Batman, but the thing that separates Moon Knight from Batman is the fact that he has an array of he goes through D.I.D or dissociative identity disorder, which we clearly see in this trailer.
yeah,
Why? While it's a glimpse, because the Moon Knight comics. So this is at least all the information I know. I'm not gonna act like I'm some like Moon Knight whiz,
yeah,
like I know everything. But this is at least what I've learned from the character is that Mark Spector, who's originally this mercenary, he goes to Egypt for some due to certain circumstances. He's left for dead, but through his revival from the moon god Khonshu, which we kind of get a glimpse of during the trailer,
yeah,
revives him, and he's like, "Yo, I let you live, but in doing so, you have to do my bidding, which is inflict vengeance on the wrongdoers in the world and whatnot." So that's why he assumes the role of Moon Knight, Mark Spector. However, Mark Spector, he's already like kind of a bit of he's already going through some stuff mentally because he has this split personality. He has this sort of, like we said earlier, dissociative identity disorder where he doesn't even know who is who or which is which, what personality is the true identity, is it Mark Spector? Because Moon Knight has an array of personalities, which is from the comics. One is called Jake Lockley, who's a cab driver, and he's a cab driver that gets information on the down low in like the streets and everything. So it's almost like an informant. His persona, which you see in the trailer here, which they changed up, which is Stephen Grant in the comics, is the billionaire sort of playboy kind of persona he dons as like just to get around places. I just know that the Stephen Grant role in the comics was more of the billionaire personality, akin to something like Bruce Wayne, and then there was Mark Spector. But then there's also the Moon Knight personality as well. So it's how all these different personalities are kind of fighting or battling one another to see who comes out on top and which one becomes the more prevalent and more dominant sort of character, I guess you could say. But I mean, so far, like the thing I really like about the Moon Knight trailer as well is that they're really leaning into the more supernatural elements that I think like that MCU has never really delved into, if you know what I mean. Like I will say they kind of tap their foot in the water, but this is them really going into like the actual pool itself, like really getting a feel of it. Like here we see a lot of the very Egyptian sort of influences from even Moon Knight's costume itself. It's very influential of like a mummy. Even the way it wraps around him itself, it's pretty much like all this wrapping
classic mummy
material, which I think is cool. And I mean, Oscar Isaac looks really good. I mean, so far, the British accent did throw me off a little bit, because it was like,
I didn't notice that. I don't know.
That was the British. He was doing the British accent, and I was like, kind of weird. Okay, but then when you think about it, it's the fact like Moon Knight has the whole split personality thing. So I think a way they're gonna do this on the show without making it confusing is that maybe each personality has a distinct accent. So like his Stephen Grant persona in the trailer we see, he's a British. He's from like London, England. He has this British accent.
Yeah. I can't tell the difference between life and dreams. What's the contact lens?
So maybe whenever he reforms back to that Mark Spector persona, maybe that's when you get like the typical American kind of accent. But I also like that, like there are points in the trailer. One of my favorite shots was when he's in the little van, and he has like a gun. He looks at it and he just kind of immediately drops it because he's like, "What the hell is going on?"
Just don't remember having
I like the fact, it's so like. I wonder how they're gonna play with that in action scenes. Are they gonna make it like a way where 1 minute Mark Spector just takes over, punches some dudes, that's it, end scene, and that personality is gone, and that allows for Stephen Grant to sort of react, and he's just like, what the hell is going on, that sort of thing. But I don't know, the ending, the ending of the trailer where we see him beat the living crap out of some creature. I was like, oh wow, okay. I was like, ooh, okay. So Moon Knight throws fists with the supernatural. I thought that was pretty cool, man. Like he doesn't just beat up like a regular. It was not like a regular thug, if you get what I mean. I was like, whoa, he's fighting like a creature, and this is like a proper monster of sorts, right? People have theorized this could be Werewolf by Midnight, and coincidentally enough, Werewolf by Midnight was the first comic. It was one of the first debuts of Moon Knight in the comics. And also, coincidentally enough, Disney is also planning on doing a Halloween special for the Werewolf by Midnight character. Although in this trailer, it's not really Werewolf by Midnight. People say, could this be Werewolf by Midnight? I think it's like an Anubis, a Sphinx creature of sorts, because of the way they're really focusing in on the whole Egyptian culture, or at least that sort of all that Egyptian sort of museum as well. It's a lot of there's a lot of Egypt artifacts as well. They even have the pyramids as well to kind of really hammer that in, the fact of all that very Egypt culture and history. But I would not be surprised in that Werewolf by Midnight special, that Halloween special, he makes a debut there. I would not be surprised because it would be quite fitting as well. Moon Knight makes a cameo there. But I think, I'm just going to say this. If Moon Knight, there's some rumors. There's been some rumors. And One of the rumors is that Mahershala Ali's Blade is going to cameo in this series. To what capacity, we don't know. But if that happens, this could totally be setting up the Midnight Suns group. I mean, if that happens,
Yeah.
I'm all in. Because it would be awesome, because on one end of Marvel, right, in the movies, we're dealing with a multiverse arc. However, in the small screen, depending on whoever characters you want to, depending on the characters you have, right, you guys could do a more similar, smaller arc on the silver screen where it's all these characters like Moon Knight, Blade, possibly Ghost Rider, and all these supernatural characters could come together to form the Midnight Suns, and that can be like its own little mini crossover, or like a Halloween supernatural sort of horror movie type arc, or horror series, horror crossover type arc in those series. However they plan on doing that, maybe that becomes like a special of sorts. Maybe that's like its own little series, like the Defenders, almost like how they, the Defenders, they made like it's all the Netflix characters, that show specific for them. Maybe they might do something like that where they make a show for all these supernatural characters and they call it Midnight Suns. I'll be excited because I think Marvel can because this is like the kind of time where you can really go crazy. Sure, you can do multiverse, but also delve into the realms that aren't really explored yet, like horror. We've not really gotten a proper feel of horror in the MCU, so using Moon Knight as a character to slowly but surely dip your feet into the supernatural aspects, that can also be a jumping off point for all the different sort of aspects that come with the horror or supernatural side, which is other obscure characters like Ghost Rider could join into the mix. All these supernatural characters, which if that happens, I'm all in, because so far Moon Knight really does seem to be a show it's a show I really was excited for, because how do you make a character who's known for his very dissociative identity disorder cool? Like, how do you portray that in live action? So the fact that they're doing it here, and I think I have faith that they'll do justice. It's like, sure, it's not going to be beat for beat the exact same thing in the comics, but I think the way they portrayed here in the series should hopefully is done well. So yeah, I think there's nothing else to add other than the fact that I'm really excited for this show. Maybe I really wonder what the show opens up the doors for in terms of supernatural and the horror aspect of the MCU. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Anything else you want to add on, George?
Not really. I'm
Yeah,
really just got to emphasize that I love the
Yeah,
use of day and night, like it could in the trailer. I think that's such a
I mean, yeah, the
use of
song
song.
the song that used Day and Night by Kid Cudi. Yeah, that's I like the fact that it's pretty. It's a song on the nose, because day and night, it's almost
really
representative of the Moon Knight character, but also the hold the phone. When there's scenes of him like finding the phone and realizing that, oh my god, there's more to me than meets the eye. I was someone else. Because in that trailer, he finds the phone and it's like, oh snap, why'd you call me? Because that was like the oh snap moment where he was like, why'd you call me Mark? Even though thinks he's this guy called Stephen Grant and everything of the sort, Yeah. All said, that's all good. Yeah, so
I'm very hyped.
Yeah, I feel like we've already said what we said, but honestly, this looks to be yet another great. This looks like yet another good MCU Disney Plus series. Once again, glad Marvel's doing more of the obscure characters and now hopefully making them more prevalent and more allow them to have more of a fan base as well. So yeah, that was the Moon Knight trailer. But what did you guys think? Do you like it? Are you excited? Maybe not. Is this a character you would actually want to watch? Because not many people know Moon Knight. So is this a series you're actually planning on watching? Because to me, even though it's different, it still looks interesting. So yeah. Also, before we end the video real quick, we want to say that Harish. Some of you might know me from the last video I made on the Uncharted video. That was like a solo video. I'll be working on making a couple of movie review videos movie review videos and of the sort, where I'm dubbing it as the Long Overdue series. So if you guys don't know what the Long Overdue series means, it's where I try and review some of the movies we haven't gone to touch upon here on the channel, like Spider-Man No Way Home, Eternals, and Shang-Chi. So I thought I wanted to make 3 solo videos on my own to really discuss my thoughts on those 3 movies overall, since we haven't really gotten the chance to get to them. We did do a recording for Spider-Man No Way Home, which was like about an hour long, but however, with the editing software, for some reason, if you don't log on to it for like a couple of days or so, for some reason, some of the footage and audio gets lost, so we didn't want to have to go through that hassle over and over again, so we thought that this could be a more of a better alternative, and we think it is. So we hope that you guys will enjoy this video, and the other upcoming videos as well. As always, please continue to show your love and support, as you guys are what keep us going in doing what we do. Love you all. Take care, and see you on the next one. Like and subscribe, and take care. See you.
Give me the goddamn kitty cat bracelet, mother!